Hey guys, welcome to JPlays. I am Iceman. This is my playthrough of Warcraft 3, The Frozen Throne. We're now on to Chapter 7, Part 1 of the Scourge campaign, entitled Into the Shadow Web Caverns. At that same moment in Northrend, King Arthas and Anubarak march into the dark, forgotten halls of Azjob-Nerub. I'm probably mispronouncing that big time.
We've been walking for hours. We've got to quicken our pace. The Lich King is defenseless without us.
I left many of my warriors at Icecrown before I came to find you, Death Knight. They will hold the line for as long as they are able.
Tell me, where are all of your people? Shouldn't there be Nerubians around here, undead or otherwise?
I've been wondering about that myself. Something must have driven them all off.
We did, you rotting bastards! We've been watching you all along!
Muradin's dwarves. Impossible. Doesn't anyone stay dead anymore?
We've been wandering this forsaken land ever since you killed Muradin and left us to rot Arthas. Our leader, Baelgun, led us into the ruined city to survive. But there's no way we're letting you in.
We have no time for these games. Saphiron, attack!
Oh. Oh.
Well done, mighty Saphiron. I wish we could take you with us, but the confines of the Dark Earth are no place for you.
The Lich King's time is running short. We must hurry. You rang. My might cannot be matched.
No one orders me around.
Yeah, hopefully this isn't a time limit one.
Finally.
For Kazmadan!
A pint for every ghoul ye blast!
This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers.
Set off the charges! Blow the bridge before they get across!
No! Stop them before they...
There's no way.
That was for Muradin. Now you'll never get across.
There are other passages through the labyrinth, Death Knight. We will find another way.
This is more like it. Finally. I'll make sure you suffer. You will know endless torment. Ah, at last. Our forces are under attack. Frostmourne hungers. For the Lich King. Ah, at last. Gold. We should take this with us. Your pain shall be legendary. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. Finally. Frostmourne hungers.
I have heard the summons. Oblivion awaits. Kinky.
Did he say kinky?
No one orders me around.
Speak.
What is it now? Ah, at last. This is more like it. Ah, at last. I'll make sure you suffer. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. You will know endless torment. For the Lich King. Finally. Ah, at last. Faithless coward. I'll make sure you suffer. Finally.
These Nerubians are your kin. Why are they hostile to us?
Many of us who fell during the War of the Spider were brought back to serve the Lich King. These warriors, however, never died. Foolishly, they still fight to liberate Nerub from the Scourge.
This is more like it.
Interesting.
I'll make sure you suffer. Now, Frostmourne. I'll make sure you suffer. Ah, at last.
I remember
You will know endless
with my actual
torment.
boxed copy of this game that I used to have,
For the Lich King.
the manual for this was massive.
I'll make sure you suffer.
And I mean
This is
Warcraft
more
3,
like it.
More gold.
the Reign
This
of
might
Chaos.
help us later.
For the Lich King. Now, Frostmourne.
And that entailed the
I'll
whole
make
story
sure.
of like Scourge and the undead, how
Frostmourne
they fought against
hungers.
the Nerubians, is it? Whatever these guys are. And how that was fought for a long time before they the undead tunneled up from underneath and defeated them that way.
Ah, at last.
Back when games used to have massive storybooks
Frostmourne
in the
hungers.
manuals. I miss those days.
This is more like it. Speak, fool.
Ooh.
Frostmourne hungers.
This place looks like an old storage silo. It's a dead end, Nubarak.
There must be a hidden passage somewhere. We Nerubians were crafty engineers in our time.
You will know endless torment. Now, Frostmourne. I'll make sure you suffer. For the Lich King. Faithless coward. Frostmourne hungers. I'll make sure you...
This is an ancient Nerubian hoarding cell. We kept most of our treasures hidden in chambers like this. The passage to the lower depths lies just beyond this room.
Great. As long as we're here, we can take some of these items with us.
Ah, at last.
This room feels like one big massive trap.
Your pain shall be legendary. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Faithless coward. For the Lich King. You will know endless torment. This is more like it. Now, Frostmourne. You will know endless torment. For the Lich King.
More gold. Take all you can carry.
Frostmourne hungers.
3 down, 2 to go.
Finally. Frostmourne hungers. I'll make sure you suffer.
Proceed.
Tread lightly. Ah, at last. Finally.
Interesting.
Speak, fool. Ah, at last.
What did that activate?
Tread lightly. No one orders me around.
Tread lightly.
Don't even try it, you bastard! That there treasure belongs to the dwarves!
This treasure belongs to the Lich King, little creature. We, his servants, shall take what we will.
Frostborn hungers. Finally.
So I can go through there.
Speak, fool.
What did that activate?
Inventory is full.
Tread lightly.
My might cannot be matched. I'll see to it.
No, I can't get it.
Indubitably.
What is it now? Speak, fool. Ah, at last.
Time is fleeting.
Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers.
This is for Meriden, you bastards!
At last.
You will know endless torment.
Finally. Ah, at last. Finally. Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally.
My might cannot be matched.
No one orders me around. Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers. I'll make sure you suffer.
It's them! Blast them!
Finally. This is more like it. You will know endless torment. I'll make sure you suffer. Finally. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Finally. Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Ah, at last.
Damned undead! Slay 'em all!
This is more like it. I'll make sure you suffer. Faithless coward. Now, Frostborn. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. Finally. This is more like it. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it.
Shoot anything that shuffles or skitters!
No one orders me around. Finally. This is more like it. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Finally. What is it now? Ah, at last. This is more like it. Finally. Ah, at last.
See, if that wasn't there, and that wasn't there, maybe I could get him to, all the way over to that
Time is fleeting.
item.
Speak,
But
fool.
I have heard the summons. You rang. Speak. Kinky.
No one orders me around. Finally.
I remember you, evil prince. You're the one that killed poor Nuradin.
Get over it already.
I won't let you through this door, traitor. The recent quakes have awakened dark things under the ice. Ancient, horrid things. We vowed to keep them locked where they are.
We'll take our chances, dwarf. We're going through that door, one way or another. Tread lightly. Ah, at last. Your pain shall be legendary. This is more like it. Faithless coward. I'll make sure you suffer. Frostborn hunger. Your pain shall be legendary. This is more like it.
By Neru.
No one orders me around. Frostborn hungers. Tread lightly. This is more like it.
retreat.
Ah, at last. This is more like it. Glory to the Scourge.
Ah, damn.
Ah, at last.
I'll consume the living and
Speak,
the dead.
Finally. For the Lich King. Ah, at last. No one orders me around. Tread lightly. This is more like it. Finally. Frostborn hungers.
are under attack.
This is more like it.
Move.
No
Ah,
one orders
fuck
me
you.
around. Frostborn hungers. Faithless coward. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Finally. Ah, at last. Now, Frostborn. This is more like it. I'll make sure you suffer. For the Lich King. Finally. Ah, at last. Finally. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Finally. Ah, at last.
Come on.
Speak, fool. No one orders me around. Tread lightly. Finally. This is more like it. You will know endless.
Indubitably.
What is it now? Ah, at last.
Feel the venom of the rube.
Tread lightly.
Inventory is full.
Oh.
Speak, fool.
Inventory is full. Inventory is full.
Kinky. I'll see to it.
What is it now?
That was a costly battle, that one.
Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers.
Ah. Was that that's the end?
The air smells awful in here. Something doesn't feel right.
If the dwarf's story was true, there's no telling what awaits us in the darkness. This stairwell leads into the heart of the old Nerubian Empire. We must be cautious.
By all means. You first.
Nice little burst of gameplay there. Not too bad, not too bad at all. Alright, so that does it for that part of the chapter. I will see you guys in the next video. Guys, have a good one.